What's up, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Lorewise. I'm your host, Ace. Today, I'm going to be talking about why the Thalmor, and more importantly, the Aldmeri Dominion, are best for Tamriel. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, the Thalmor? Good for Tamriel? Ace, you're crazy. But before you get too riled up, let me explain. Now, see, I'm a son of Skyrim, a true Stormcloak, and I hate the Thalmor. But even I could see that being under the Aldmeri Dominion might have some benefits. I mean, yes, they are awful people and commit some seriously bad crimes, but they might have some benefits. Now, before I get into what their actual benefits are, let's go over a little bit of history. Right now, the Empire is weakened after the Oblivion Crisis and the ending of the Septim Bloodline. This is after the end of the game Oblivion, where Martin Septim becomes the Avatar of Akatosh and defeats Mary's Dagon in the most epic way possible. Right now, at the end of Skyrim, the Empire is run by Titus Mede II. Now, if we consider Dark Brotherhood canon, Titus Mede II is now dead thanks to the Dragonborn royally screwing over his day. With that being said, the Empire is severely weak. They had trouble fighting the Thalmor all throughout the Great War. In fact, the Thalmor outsmarted them many a time. The only reason the Empire was doing so well is because they started using the Thalmor's own tactics against them. Like whenever the Thalmor first attacked Cyrodiil, they came up through elsewhere using a scorched earth policy on everything up until they got to the Imperial City. Then they surrounded it, and only through the use of secret tunnels was the Emperor and his forces able to escape to the north, where they regrouped, came back, surrounded the city, much like the Thalmor did, but unfortunately the Thalmor don't know about the secret escape tunnels, so the Emperor and his forces were able to basically commit mass genocide and take out all of the Aldmeri Dominion forces. This would include the High Elves, the Wood Elves, and possibly some Khajiit that might be fighting on the front lines. Now, after the Great War, the Empire signed the White Gold Concordat with the Aldmeri Dominion. We know about this from Skyrim that the people of Skyrim were pretty pissed. Not as pissed as the people of Hammerfell, who decided to completely leave the Empire and secede and become their own nation and take the fight to the Aldmeri Dominion, going one-on-one with the entirety of it. And let's keep in mind, the Aldmeri Dominion is not just the High Elves. It's also the Wood Elves and the Khajiit. 3 countries. Hammerfell went toe-to-toe with 3 countries at once. This went on for about 5 years. Finally, the Aldmeri Dominion decided, we're done. We can't keep up this fight anymore. These guys are just too good. And they signed the Second Peace Treaty of Stros M'Kai, thus technically ending the Great War, or just the struggle between Hammerfell and the Aldmeri Dominion. That being said, the Red Guards are the best warriors on Tamriel, and the fact that the Aldmeri Dominion went that long against them kind of shows some chops on their part. Now that we've talked about the wartime aspect, let's talk about how it would affect people's daily lives. Now, we know that the Aldmeri Dominion is made up of the High Elves, the Wood Elves, and the Khajiit. It is primarily run by the High Elves, whose culture would dominate in places run by the Aldmeri Dominion. They are known for having higher society, better arts, better architecture. Now, they're also very skilled in the medicinal arts and the magical arts. Their magic abilities are almost unrivaled, save the House Telvanni in Morrowind and the Bretons. No one can really match them. That being said, now that we've covered what they might do well, let's get on to something I very much enjoy. Why they wouldn't be so great for Tamriel. First off, they are horribly racist against any humans. Anything not elf. They frequently enslave Khajiit and possibly Argonians. We don't really know. They don't have much interaction with the Argonians. And they openly try to take down every man they find. I assume this is because of the Night of Tears, where Ysgramor and his army slaughtered elves across all of Tamriel. Now, as a little side note, the High Elves also hate the Orcs. Why, we're not really sure. I believe it's because the Orcs are the bastard child of men and elves, and they're just seen as a disgusting half-breed. I mean, they are one of the most unattractive races on Tamriel. Now, the Thalmor, the secret police for the Aldmeri Dominion, engage in torture actively. We see this in Skyrim when in the Thalmor embassy. They were torturing a guy to try to get information about Esbern, the lore master for the Blades. Now, if the Dragonborn hadn't intervened and saved that guy's life, he most likely would have been killed if he had continued to not give them any information, and the torture probably would have gotten progressively worse up until that point. Now, we also know the Altmer culture has a very strict set of religious rules. They believe in the teachings of the god Trinimac, who ended up becoming Malakath, but that's a story for another day. Trinimac is the god of the elves. Humans, on the other hand, follow Lorcan, the god of mankind. And anyone that believes in anything other than what they think is openly persecuted. This is seen in Skyrim with Thalmor justiciars running around trying to hunt down anyone who worships Talos and either arrest them or just outright kill them. Now, I'd like to say they are exceedingly brutal in war. Now, I know war is a time of extreme brutality, but let's just use this as an example. How they started the Great War. Originally, the Thalmor sent an ambassador to the Imperial City to talk to the Emperor. And they threw down an ultimatum. You surrender to us, or we will wage war on the Empire. The Emperor told them to fuck off. The only brave thing he's done. The Thalmor ambassador left, disgusted. A few days later, the severed heads of a group of the most skilled blades that had been dispatched to investigate the Aldmeri Dominion were delivered to the Emperor. Now just imagine that. You just told what could be the biggest enemy in the world to fuck off, and they send you the severed heads of your best, his equivalent to, like, say, SEAL Team 6. You're a little scared at this point. These guys mean business. Now, if anyone could defeat the Thalmor, that's a discussion for another day. That's all the time I have for right now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more from Lorewise. Good night, everybody.